Okay. So I finished running all of the apple juice through the food mill. And now I'm going to go ahead and fill my jars with the applesauce. Now, some people find, like myself, find it's a waste of time to sterilize your jars before filling them. It's no longer recommended by the Food and Drug Administration and whoever else that you need to sterilize your jars before filling them. Any harmful buggies that are in here are going to be killed during the processing, as long as you are processing for at least 10 minutes, which you basically always are. The least amount of time I've ever seen in any recipe is 15 minutes. So I don't bother sterilizing my jars. As long as they're clean, you're gonna be fine. And as long as you're boiling them in the water for at least 10 minutes, you're gonna be fine. Okay. Now I'm leaving about an inch headspace. I think you can do less, possibly half an inch. I like to do a little more just in case. If you have some boiling over, called siphoning, it tends to get on the rim of the jar and you won't get a good seal. So I leave a little more headspace that's recommended. Just a little more, not a lot more. Okay. So I'm filling the jars and I'm putting a lid on. That's about right. There's a lid and then a band. Most books say finger tight. I do more of what we call hand tight. You don't want to put a lot of muscle in there, but you do want them on there good enough so you don't have that siphoning going on also. So the applesauce is still really hot. Mainly the reason why you want it to be hot is so your jars aren't going to crack. So right now my jars are warming up nice. And when I put them into the simmering water, the jars won't crack from the difference in temperatures. So here I'm working pretty much as quickly as I can to avoid the applesauce from cooling too much. But if you know apples, when they get hot, they get really hot. So they're not going to cool down too quickly. So I think from this batch, I may actually get 6 pints from it. My last batch I did yesterday was only 5.5, and the half wound up going in the fridge. So if you ever have any extra where you can't fill a whole jar, just go ahead and put it in another jar or just container or just eat it. You never want to process a half full jar. The amount of air that you leave in that jar could cause a situation of spoilage, and you don't want that. See, now this jar is not totally full, so I actually didn't make enough to fill this one. So I'm just gonna find an old used lid and pop it into the refrigerator.